Leo, welcome to the rest of October, a general tarot scope for the period ending on Halloween, the 31st. And actually the day before Halloween, on the 30th, there's going to be a new moon in Scorpio, and that is your fourth house of home and family. So some people might be closing in on a house, or you're going to be able to, move in to a new house. Maybe it has to do with an addition to your family. Maybe there's something going on with your family of origin, some kind of a new development. So yeah. Whoa. Some money action going on here. What was I just saying? Okay. So, let me take a look at this for 1 second. I'm trying to think now. So you have, I was actually just thinking about the astrology, because I was thinking about Libra, and Libra's, because of Jupiter being in Libra. Libra is your third house. So that means that for the next year, you're going to be having a lot of expansion in the way of things regarding communication and your local environment. Talking about that new moon in the fourth house, it could be something like you move to your dream location, an area where you can really immerse yourself in the neighborhood. Maybe in the past you lived somewhere and you really didn't like the environment, but you were there, maybe you're there for a job or something, and it didn't feel like home. And now maybe this is the time, if you are closing in on some kind of a new property, that you're going to be able to do that. I feel like with this reading that some of you, I guess I was trying to think about, oh yes, because your eighth house would be, it would be Pisces, wouldn't it? So, if I'm not mistaken. So the eighth house can be the house of other people's money. And we just had that lunar eclipse, and the effects of that was in Pisces. The effects of that can last, I think, 3 to 6 months or something, because this is an inheritance card. This can be an inheritance card, and this is managing your money. So some of you, that new beginning that's related to the fourth house, maybe that has something to do with a transfer of property or something to do with family money. And because you had that eclipse in Pisces affecting your eighth house of other people's money, inheritances, because this is the overall energy. Now it could be even in your own thing, like alimony or just splitting the assets. You see the scales of justice, of kind of equity, equitable distribution of money with this Pentacles. But it could be also you receiving help, receiving a financial gift, giving a financial gift to somebody else. With Leo, it's more likely that you're giving than receiving, only because you are very generous. And also, you're very proud. So you would be less likely to want to receive and more likely to give. In terms of a job situation, it could be also getting a job where you're, being paid what you deserve, rather than maybe, being taken advantage of. The card that kind of is alongside this or in the near future is the Four of Pentacles. a wonderful money manager. So maybe it could be in this particular line of work. I mean, it could be in a financial field, banking or investments. But if you are in that situation, you may have had a period where you were not working and you were kind of like recuperating from something else that may have been really intense. Maybe you were in a really bad work environment that drains you like crazy. In relationships, a similar theme could apply too. Like you were single for quite a while, or just recovering from a very toxic relationship, and now you're with somebody who you're on the same level with, in terms of like you're not the caretaker. It's like give and take more. But it's almost like, even in those situations, it might be with someone who is very fiscally conservative or very good with money. Sometimes the Four of Pentacles can indicate, I think, a great person to build a family with, because there's a stability there. The four equals stability. So even on that, but it's almost like with an earth sign, you know, because there's like that double earth sign energy. So it could be with a Taurus or Virgo or Capricorn. And somebody had mentioned the other day that they thought I was being prejudiced against earth signs with fire signs. And of course you're a fire sign. And this was for, you know, I think it was Sagittarius. And it's not, you know, this is kind of simplistic, these types of readings, because they're going to be very general. And when you have general readings, you're going to generalize. You're not going to be able to get too into it, because you're dealing with millions and millions of people that are of one sign. And so I'm talking about generalized or general characteristics of people born under one sign. And that it is simplistic, because, you know, when you look at a chart, you can see all the complexities of, you know, what makes people tick. But in general, you know, the fire signs tend to be more creative, oriented towards external stimuli, like things out in the world, and the water and earth signs tend to be much more interested in domestic affairs, their own personal lives, their own personal experiences, and they tend to be more practical. But of course there are a wide variety of possibilities within all of the elements. And so when I talk about earth and fire getting together, I do so with that caveat of understanding that, you know, you have to, you know, kind of make allowances for one another sometimes if you're from these two, you know, disparate elements, because you're coming from totally different points of view. And I had mentioned, I think, to this particular commenter that, you know, sometimes, or maybe I just thought that I should say this, that sometimes, let's say if the two people, the fire and the earth signs, have a kid or family, they're raising a family, that is one thing that can, you know, give them that sense of bonding, because they have something in common. They have a joint goal. But sometimes in other relationships, each party may feel that the other one is not getting where they're coming from. The fire sign person might think the earth sign person is too concerned with material matters like money, career, their bodies, everything. And the earth sign person might think the fire sign is flaky in some way, that they're not grounded enough, that they're not practical enough. And they may kind of feel that they're not going to be able to, you know, sustain a family in the best way, because they're not considering all of these so-called practical matters. So that can be the conflict. But I know couples who have been together for a long time who one person is an earth sign and one person's a fire sign. And actually, I know particularly of a couple that, and both couples that I know like this have children. So I think that is a common denominator that is worth mentioning, because it gives them that thing that's in common. And in the case of one of the couples, it's the man is a Leo and the woman is a Virgo. And so I think for you, this might be a possibility where you have one person is a Virgo and one person is a Leo. In general, I think that it's best if the man is the fire sign, which is a masculine sign, and the earth sign is a feminine sign. Or otherwise, if you have the opposite, you have the Guy Ritchie syndrome, as I call it, where the guy is like being overshadowed by, the Leo, like Madonna, and he's a Virgo. And, they're calling him Mr. Madonna, or I'm just joking about that, but they're kind of like saying Madonna's husband instead of Guy Ritchie, the movie director. And I mean, I have no way of knowing why they broke up, but that kind of thing, can create problems in the relationship. So, so there's a lot of kind of that material energy that's going around here. And then you even have this as the higher message. So this is like about family. As I said, this could be inheritance, an inheritance card. But it could be like working in the family business. It could be like a family legacy that is coming in for you. If it's a relationship issue, it could be that you're really thinking of family first in terms of what decisions you make. And so this could apply either to romantic relationships or the workplace. If you've been working someplace, if you were working someplace and it didn't work out, maybe you decide to work for your family, or maybe you get help from them in some way. But there's kind of like this this feeling. I do feel that some of you, it might be an inheritance, and that's kind of like what this card is all about. But let's talk about the card that crosses you. The challenge is the Queen of Wands. This would be more in the reverse position. The Queen of Wands in reverse can be kind of that, the shadow side of a woman, and I'm using woman in particular because this is a card of like a female business type of individual. So a boss, a female boss or something like that. In the reverse position, it's all the worst characteristics. Domineering, very well, that's what domineering is, but very temperamental, and maybe even like, someone who loses their temper a lot, because you have that wands, you have that fiery energy. It can be somebody who's very quick to anger, but that diva quality, because there's the feminine principle involved in it. So it's either that you want to watch out for that. Leo can certainly get like that in their shadow manifestation. When they don't feel secure with themselves, they can throw their weight around and try to kind of dominate other people instead of dominating themselves and trying to be the best that they can be for themselves, trying to control other people, being kind of like the petty tyrant, so to speak. So in a position of authority, throwing your weight around, and just kind of trying to control through aggression, negative emotions, those sorts of things. So you want to watch out for that. But it could be that you're dealing with somebody who is exhibiting this, maybe in that workplace that I mentioned. Or maybe it's a former boss. Maybe you're getting away from that situation and you're dealing with it still at this point. I do feel that you're coming into something new because of that kind of a respite. kind of a rejuvenation period. So hopefully you don't have a new boss from hell that is creating problems for you. Maybe it's just kind of an aspect of yourself that you have to kind of keep in check. But the advice is the Nine of Cups. This is a card, even though it's associated with cups and therefore the emotional life, it is also associated with financial abundance. So whatever's going on, maybe this is just keeping your ego in check because you're having so much good fortune and not letting it go to your head and not being too smug about it. Because maybe, who knows, maybe you've kind of rose like a phoenix from the ashes in some way. Maybe somebody really screwed you over and that's why you had to kind of build yourself up again, represented by the Four of Swords. And now you're really in a good place financially. And because this card is like of great wealth, maybe you're in that place and you have to resist temptations to kind of rub it in other people's faces. The very people that may have kind of betrayed you or what have you. Also, in terms of romantic relationships, if anybody is involved in that, there could have been an air sign person who did you wrong. So it might have been Gemini, what are the other ones? Libra, Aquarius. And now you kind of been, what is that term? You've been kind of, I was going to say redeemed, but that's not the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for that word that means you've proven yourself. And you have to kind of resist the urge. Maybe you've met somebody. Maybe the person is a water sign person and they're more sensitive than that other partner. Maybe that other person was rather cold to you and this person has a lot of emotional depth and they're really nurturing. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces individual. And this person could definitely represent somebody from a financial institution as well. Water sign people tend to be very good with investments, particularly. They tend to use their intuition to know what to invest in and also be very concerned about material security. The outcome is the Emperor, so this is like a card of self-empowerment. It could be like an actual, this is connected to the sign of Aries, so if that means anything to you. But it could be you seeking the counsel of somebody who is either, maybe it's a judgment from a judge, maybe it has to do with some kind of inheritance issue. And you know what, this person actually, to tell you the truth, it could be I didn't think about this. This could be like a stepmother, the evil stepmother, or maybe even, yeah, somebody like that who's also fighting for the will. You know, there might be one of those deals happening. Or if you have, if you don't have a good relationship with your own mother, it could be showing that type of thing. This person is kind of smothering. It's not the same as a water sign. It's more of just like trying to dominate you and curtail your freedom because she wants to have control over you. And you may be telling it to a judge. And there could also be an aspect of you that is feeling, I just used this term in another reading, large and in charge, because you are now, you have that kind of power over your own life now. So you have some powerful cards with the Nine of Cups and the Emperor. The Four of Pentacles is a great card, and surely the Ten of Pentacles. I like this spread for you, Leo. It looks like it's going to be really nice, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading where I look at your personal chart, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great rest of October. Bye.